educational approach, and by that I mean I'm going to be teaching it to you in a way that I would teach my students. So pretend that we're kind of in the elementary classroom. I hope you enjoy. Okay. Wow, this month flew by. So congratulations, you finished this month. So I want to give you guys first class tickets. We're going to be taking a field trip to an unknown destination. And so just put your feet back, relax. I know you're ready for this vacation. All right, so we have our United States map. We are going to be flying from Teachers College, Columbia University in New York City. So here's our airplane. It's going to zip on really fast. We're doing an express jet. We're going over the sea on a field trip. Oh my goodness. I wonder where we're going to go. We're headed for that big question mark. What's going to happen? And then here I'll be asking my students, where do you think we're going? I wonder what they would say. So today our destination is China. So please listen to what the
I hope you are my elementary teacher.
So please listen. 好一朵美丽的茉莉花，好一朵美丽的茉莉花，芬芳美丽满枝桠，又香又白人人花。Fragrant flowers fill the air, beautiful blossoms everywhere. Choose a flower that is white and pure. Give to someone you adore. Here we go. So what a beautiful jasmine flower. Sweet smelling, beautiful stems full of buds. Fragrant and white, everyone prays. Let me pluck you down, give to someone else, jasmine flower, oh jasmine flower. So we actually were familiar with it. We had an introduction by our first group that was so awesome. But the song that I sang for you and performed is called Mo Li Hua, and it is translated to jasmine flower. There are several different versions of it depending on the province in China. So there's actually one version that I thought it was all about beautifully plucking this flower, giving it to someone, but there is actually one version where it's like, I'm fearful of plucking the flower. Okay. So it's very famous that a very popular tune that it was even performed in the Beijing 2008 Olympics. So if you're curious, you can go ahead and watch this video that was playing with me. But I'm going to go ahead and one as well. So looking back, a brief history, I found these couple of pictures that were very interesting to me that were playing bamboo flutes. And there's a story that the ancient Chinese writings were saying that there was this emperor who would ask his assistant, Lin Lun, and he would ask his assistant, or the scholar, to go into the western mountains to cut bamboo flutes that would mimic or emit the sound of this very rare bird. And this rare bird, if it appeared, it would signify harmony for the appearance of a new emperor, so it would be very harmonious. So that's kind of what the bamboo flute really represents. It's this harmony, perfection, and clarity, especially with its range of sounds. Here we go. So about the ditzy, as you can see, so this is not really truly amazing quality. I ordered it from Amazon. But it works for me. I tried my best. But it has the blowhole here. And what's very interesting, and what's not found in the Western flute, is there's something called a membrane hole. And what you have to do is you have to cover, or you have to cut like this really thin rice paper called the demo. And you have to cut it in a way where it covers, and you have to do it lengthwise, and then you can either glue it on, or you can tape it. I chose to tape it. At first I only had duct tape, so that looked really funny, but then I went out and bought some tape. And then there's some 6 holes, each have a certain tone to it. You can actually buy it in several flutes. There's D, C, and G. They actually recommended it that you start off in the key of D. And then, you know what, I wanted to challenge myself, so I got in the key of C. So there's actually several settings that you could perform the C. You can perform it in an orchestra setting, or you could do it in a solo, but there's this one group that I found which is really great. They're called the Dikapala Ditsi Ensemble, and they're made up of very young people who try to bring in different cultures. So they try to do jazz, popular music, and actually the average age is actually 19 years old, which is very interesting. And if you would like to learn how to make a ditsi in your classroom, there's a wiki house. I really rely on my wiki house, if I can sing or anything like that. Okay? So, modern twist, an extension for the classroom. So I'm always in this journey. It was very challenging for me. My primary instrument is piano, and my secondary is voice. And I've never ever played any wind instrument before. And actually, I was originally going to do something from my Filipino background, but I discovered that the flutes were something that you had to play with your nose. So maybe that's something. And I was like, I don't think I'm at that level yet. Maybe next summer I'll come and play the nose flute for you.
Can't wait.
So, but I wanted it to be in a way where my students felt very comfortable and confident. And so the extension that I thought of is a way that my students could feel empowered, because that's really important in establishing a classroom. You really want to create that safe space. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead with the steps, but I hope that you can join me in my extension. Okay, so please stand up. Mr. Bean is encouraging you. Okay.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's
So with this beat, I would like you just to feel it out. I'm going to kind of skip ahead in a step of what I would do with my students, but I would like you to repeat whatever I'm playing on this flute made out of bamboo, and do it in a way where you can experiment with your body percussion. So you could snap, you could clap, you could stomp, you could do whatever. We're going to just start with you. Feel it? I need to see you move. This is the last day, right? Okay, here we go. I'm very confident with 2 notes in here. As you can see, I'm still in my journey. It is very, very different than the Western flute. I even talked to a couple of my band director friends, because the way that this is even shaped, it's more circular, and there's no lip plate or anything like that. So, and the embouchure is very, very different. So, for me, never having to play it, I was like, you know what? If you can hear some pitches, that's my goal at the moment. Let's see if I can get that on my PowerPoint. That is so fun. How do I get that? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's me. Okay, here we go. So I actually found a list of accompaniment tracks, because I'm very interested in doing it for my students, because you know the school is a culture mix. And so, in my opinion, I think it is okay to kind of cross-bar some cultural components so that you are engaging your students. So I found a list of accompaniments if you want to jam out in the privacy of your home, or you can do it in your classroom. I found several different styles that you can take your instruments, or you can even take this flute So I have some fun ones that I found. I have found a funk one, some swing, some African drums. That one was really fun. The cajon and Indian drums, and you can kind of just jam out to in your classroom. So some key takeaways that I found were, this flute and this instrument, they're really all about improvising, and it's all actually really built on ornamentation. Dr. Baxter, I know that you're the expert on this instrument. So I actually found this interesting article about this student that was actually a Western flute player, and she joined a Chinese ensemble, and she said even though she had 3 years experience on this instrument, it was still really difficult until she really started to understand that it's all built on improv and ornamentation, and she just started to lick loose, and it was really fun for her. Fusing cross-cultural familiar and unfamiliar genres can really motivate and maybe challenge students. So they're doing one thing, but they're listening to something else. And it's a hands-on learning, immersive experience, as I said. Schools are a culture mix. I'm very interested in for you guys to apply this in classrooms. So I actually found this really great lesson plan example, and I'm just going to quickly skim through it. But it kind of teaches you an approach of how to start teaching Chinese music or Chinese folk songs in an authentic way. So. So it's really great. They talk a lot about the background, but it starts to talk about the musical aspect of songs. Chinese traditional music is really built on the pentatonic scale and the 3 tones, so they kind of start taking Western songs or some little folk songs, and they start to analyze it in a way that is appropriate. And it just tells you all the little things that you could do in your classroom. I love it. I was even trying to do my hello song